George R.R. Martin on his triumphs and torments. Of course, we have new Game of Thrones spin-off series coming out this Sunday, actually. And I'm going to see it. I don't know if we'll review it for our show. I'll review it. I have HBO Max. Maybe the first episode. But George R.R. Martin is here in an in-depth interview in the Hollywood Reporter. Alan, you've got the story. Give me the highlights.
Yes. Here we go. George R.R. Martin's career over the past decade has been defined by a striking contradiction. His fantasy empire has flourished beyond anything he imagined, while his central work that made it all possible remains unfinished. In 2015, as Game of Thrones was overtaking the books, Martin worried about two things: whether HBO would ever expand Westeros beyond one hit series, and whether he would be able to complete The Winds of Winter before the show surpassed his story. One fear proved unfounded, the other painfully enduring. I have to finish the next book. Maybe I'm over optimistic about how quickly I can write these things. 10 years later, Martin has undeniably built the franchise he once hoped for. Westeros has become a sprawling multimedia kingdom with House of the Dragon, a major hit, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms on the way, and more spin-offs in development. A West End stage play, an animated and film project quietly are taking shape. What he has not done is finish The Winds of Winter. Despite years of assurances and roughly 1,100 manuscript pages completed, the novel remains stalled under the weight of narrative complexity, endless rewrites, and constant distractions. Martin still writes on an offline DOS computer, revisiting chapters he dislikes and reshuffling viewpoints among dozens of characters. He insists he will not hand the book off to another writer and would rather leave it unfinished than relinquish control. It would feel like a total failure to me. I want to finish. Meanwhile, Martin's relationship with television adaptations have grown more fraught. He remains deeply involved in A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, which he praises for its smaller scale, character focus, and faithfulness to his dunk and egg stories. But his relationship with House of the Dragon showrunner Ryan Condal deteriorated sharply over disagreements about changes to the characters and plot, culminating in Martin being temporarily sidelined by HBO. This is not my story any longer. Martin believes strongly that adaptations should respect their source material, viewing his characters as his children, and bristles when changes feel arbitrary. HBO maintains that while Martin's input is valued, the final decision rests with the studio and showrunners managing the massive productions. The tension underscores a recurring theme of Martin's later career: creative control versus the realities of large-scale franchise filmmaking. As he approaches his late 70s, Martin is increasingly sensitive to time, mortality, and fan impatience. A cruel question at Worldcon about whether he would die before finishing Winter rattled him deeply, especially as friends and fellow writers continue to pass away. Still, he rejects the idea of quitting, even as he admits the book may become the longest in the series. If that happens, my work won't be finished. In the end, Martin remains caught between love for the world he created and the burden of its success. Westeros is thriving everywhere except on the page where it began. He still believes that if he can clear away enough distraction, he can finally bring The Winds of Winter to life, but even admits that belief wavers.
Look, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms premieres on HBO. Those trailers are very entertaining. I'll definitely check it out. I mean, I was not as look, fantasy is not my bag. It has to be really good to get my attention. Obviously, Lord of the Rings, probably the greatest trilogy ever made in terms of being so consistent. And the way you can watch all three. And it just really draws you into the world. I was a casual fan of Game of Thrones. I thought the ending, well, they sure rushed. It seemed like they took their time in earlier seasons and then rushed to the end. and everyone was disappointed in the way it played out. I expect if it ever comes out, Winds of Winter, he'll change things. I think he sees the reaction and the negative reaction to season 8 of Game of Thrones. This offshoot story is like a self-contained story. And what I've seen of the trailer, it looks very fun. It's already gotten some very positive reviews already. So I'll be tuning in. But the fact that he just stop and do the one book and people will shut up. Stop and finish just finish it. Alan, what do you think?
The only thing I'll say is I think it's a good idea that if you don't have a good idea, don't put it to paper.
No, it's just, look, he told Dan and Dave the ending of Game of Thrones and they ran with it and they did what they did. And the hardcore fans, of which I am not a hardcore fan, I'm just a casual fan. I don't know. I thought some of it was dumb, but I predicted Bran would, he would end up being on the throne because he was the person who wanted it least. It was either Tyrion or him. So whatever. I don't know. Look, I mean, I think if he stops everything and finishes the book, he'll gain respect back. And the book could redeem that terrible ending of Game of Thrones season 8.
Yeah, but I understand that paralyzing feeling of creativity where you want to do it right. And it's better not to do it than get it wrong.
Let's go to your comments.
Original 2K, George R.R. Martin has mastered the art of the dangling carrot. I feel sorry for anybody still waiting on wins.
Yep.
Bill S. Preston Esquire, George R.R. Martin will never release Winds of Winter because the awful Game of Thrones ending is his ending. The ending may be the ending, but the road to get there. Yes, I did. The ending may be the ending. Yes, the ending may be the ending, but it's the road that gets you there that people are going to judge as good or bad.
Yeah, true.
Zumius, once he finishes the book, he will probably die. Yeah, maybe he's prolonging his death by not writing the book.
Yeah, and also thanks to our mods, Lord Thoth, ADL is 24, Ololique. They're awesome mods. Also, don't forget producer Lori, Tomic Lori, Clenuccio. We appreciate you all. We're back on Monday with Versus. Monday on Versus, we're talking Kathleen Kennedy and Starfleet Academy.
Yay.
I do think
probably the only two topics we'll get in on that one.
Yeah, I think the Kathleen Kennedy news kind of dropped like everyone predicted it. I mean, we'll discuss it. But... Kathleen Kennedy. It kind of dropped like a dud because it was sort of like we've heard the news so much that, it actually happened. Now no one cares.
Yeah.
So
like the last book of Winds of Winter.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that. But back on Monday with Versus, Alan will review more of Starfleet Academy. We'll talk also about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Why not? I'm going to watch it recreationally because I want to see it. I want to see A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So there you go. And Alan, what do you have coming up?
I think we're reviewing Wonder Man next week too.
Oh, that's right. Okay, no, on Friday.
Friday we are. Yeah,
Friday,
next week.
We are reviewing Wonder Man. I have seen all 8 episodes. You're not going to believe what I have to tell you.
I know. You're not going to believe.
Today.
You're not going to believe.
You're not going to. Hey, you need to see it now. You need to see it.
You have me intrigued now. But you have seen Have Fun, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
We'll review that next week too.
All right.
Because I want to review it together and we had a lot going on today. So join us next week. versus Hollywood on the Rocks. And we're going to review every movie. We're reviewing the new Chris Pratt movie, Mercy.
Yep.
I'm seeing that. That'll be fun. So, folks, have a great weekend.
Kathleen Kennedy, don't let the door